Yo, Vikings fans, what's good? It's time to fire up that skull chant, because the Minnesota Vikings just shook up the NFL world with some massive news. On Sunday, August 24th, 2025, our boys in purple made headlines with a quarterback swap that's got everyone talking. We're diving into the details of Carson Wentz joining the squad, Sam Howell heading to Philly, and a potential reunion with a Vikings legend. Stick around. This is going to be a wild ride. The big story: the Vikings signed veteran quarterback Carson Wentz to back up our rising star, JJ McCarthy. Meanwhile, they shipped out Sam Howell and a 2026 sixth-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles for a 2026 fifth-rounder and a 2027 seventh-rounder. This trade, reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter, is a game-changer for our QB depth. But why make this move now, just days before the roster cut deadline? Let's unpack it. What do you think, Vikings Nation? Are you pumped to see Wentz in purple? Or are you scratching your head over losing Howell? Hit the comments and let's hear your hot takes. This is just the start of the drama, so keep your eyes glued for more. Let's talk Carson Wentz, the former Eagles star who's now rocking the Vikings shield. This guy's no stranger to the NFL spotlight. Drafted number 2 overall in 2016, Wentz was a top 5 MVP candidate in 2017 before an ACL tear sidelined him during Philly's Super Bowl run. He's thrown for 22,410 yards, 153 touchdowns, and 67 interceptions over 9 seasons, with a career passer rating of 89.3. That's some serious experience. Wentz has bounced around lately: Indianapolis in 2021, Washington in 2022, the Rams in 2023, and most recently, backing up Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City in 2024. Now at 32, he's stepping into Minnesota to mentor JJ McCarthy, our second-year QB who's ready to take the reins after missing his rookie season with a torn meniscus. Wentz's familiarity with a similar offensive scheme from his Rams days could make him a perfect fit. But here's the question: can Wentz be the veteran safety net we need if McCarthy stumbles? Or is this just a stopgap move? Drop your thoughts below, because we're all dying to know how this plays out. Now, let's rewind to the trade that made this all possible. The Vikings sent Sam Howell packing to the Eagles, along with a 2026 sixth-round pick, in exchange for a 2026 fifth-rounder and a 2027 seventh-rounder. This wasn't just a random swap. Howell's preseason struggles raised red flags. He completed just 12 of 18 passes for 118 yards and threw a pick in limited action, including a rough outing where he went 1-4-5 for 13 yards. Ouch! Minnesota clearly wanted a more seasoned backup behind McCarthy, and Howell, who led the NFL in interceptions and sacks in 2023 with Washington, didn't inspire confidence. The trade gives the Vikings some draft capital to play with, which could come in handy for another big move. More on that later. For now, it's clear Kevin O'Connell and the front office are all in on building around McCarthy. What's your vibe on Howell's exit? Were you hoping he'd stick around? Or is this trade a win for the Vikings? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Over in Philly, Sam Howell's landing in a familiar spot, back in the NFC East. The Eagles needed a backup QB with Tanner McKee nursing a finger injury on his throwing hand. Howell, a fifth-round pick in 2022, has some starter experience, going 5-13 with 4,139 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 23 interceptions in his career. He's got potential, but his turnover issues are real. Philly's banking on Howell to step up as Jalen Hurts' immediate backup, especially with McKee's status uncertain for Week 1. The Eagles also have rookie Kyle McCord and Dorian Thompson-Robinson in the mix, but Howell's experience gives him the edge for now. This trade is Philly's insurance policy as they defend their Super Bowl title. So, Vikings fans, do you think Howell will thrive in Philly, or are we better off with Wentz? Share your predictions below. This QB carousel is spinning fast. Hold up, because the Vikings aren't done making waves. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Minnesota's got their eyes on a blockbuster reunion with wide receiver Adam Thielen. Yep, the 35-year-old Vikings legend, who spent 9 years in purple before joining the Carolina Panthers in 2023, could be coming home. This rumor dropped on Friday, August 22nd, and it's got the fan base buzzing. Thielen's wife, Caitlin, added fuel to the fire with an Instagram story saying, "Big news," with heart emojis. She's a Minnesota native, so you know she'd love to see Adam back in the Twin Cities. With Jordan Addison facing a 3-game suspension and Jalen Nailor dealing with a hand injury, the Vikings need a proven wideout. Thielen, with his $6.25 million base salary, could be the perfect fit. Would you lose it if Thielen returned to Minnesota? What kind of impact could he have alongside Justin Jefferson? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this could be huge. Let's dig into why Adam Thielen makes so much sense for the Vikings right now. This guy's a proven playmaker, racking up 7,360 receiving yards and 55 touchdowns during his Minnesota tenure. He was a fan favorite, a clutch performer, and a leader in the locker room. At 35, he's still got gas in the tank, hauling in 103 catches for 1,014 yards and 4 touchdowns with the Panthers in 2024. The Vikings' receiver room is thin with Addison out and Nailor banged up. Justin Jefferson is a superstar, but he can't do it alone. Thielen's veteran presence could stabilize the group, mentor younger players, and give McCarthy a reliable target. Plus, those extra draft picks from the Howell trade, they might just be the key to sealing a deal with Carolina. What do you think the Vikings should offer for Thielen? A late-round pick? More? Let's hear your trade proposals in the comments. Back to Carson Wentz for a second. Why is he such a big deal for the Vikings? This guy's got ties to the purple and gold that run deep. Born in Raleigh but raised in North Dakota, Wentz grew up a Vikings fan. He dominated at North Dakota State, leading the Bison to back-to-back FCS championships and setting single-season records for passing yards, 3,111, and completions, 228, in 2014. His NFL journey's been a roller coaster, but Wentz brings a wealth of experience. In 2019, he became the only QB in NFL history to throw for 4,000 yards without a single receiver hitting 500 yards. That's clutch. With Vikings QB coach Josh McCown, who backed up Wentz in Philly in 2019, in his corner, Wentz could slide right into Kevin O'Connell's system. Do you think Wentz's hometown connection gives him extra motivation? Or is he just here for the paycheck? Sound off below. Let's talk about JJ McCarthy, the centerpiece of this whole shakeup. Selected 10th overall in 2024, McCarthy missed his entire rookie season with a torn meniscus, but the Vikings went 14-3 with Sam Darnold under center. Now, McCarthy's ready to step into the spotlight as QB1, and the team's doubling down on him by surrounding him with veterans like Wentz. McCarthy's got the tools, arm strength, mobility, and smarts, but he's untested in the NFL. Wentz's job is to push him in practice, offer guidance, and step in if things go south. Meanwhile, undrafted rookie Max Brosmer's been turning heads in camp, completing 68% of his passes in the preseason. Could he be the dark horse in this QB room? What's your confidence level in McCarthy as the starter? Are you all in, or do you want to see it to believe it? Hit the comments. The Vikings front office is playing chess, not checkers. Trading Howell and signing Wentz wasn't just about QB depth, it's about cap space and draft picks. After moving defensive tackle Harrison Phillips to the Jets earlier in the week, Minnesota freed up over $3 million in cap space. Add in the picks from the Howell trade, and the Vikings are sitting pretty with nearly $30 million to spend. This flexibility could be the key to landing Thielen or another veteran receiver. With the roster cut deadline looming on August 26, 2025, the Vikings are clearly gearing up for something big. Could they make another splash before the season kicks off against the Bears in Week 1? What's the one move you want the Vikings to make before the deadline? A receiver? A defender? Let's hear your wish list. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The Vikings QB room now has McCarthy, Wentz, and Max Brosmer, with Brett Rippon getting the boot on Sunday. Brosmer, a former Golden Gopher, impressed in the preseason, completing 17 of 25 passes for 189 yards. He's raw but shows promise as a potential number 3 QB. This shakeup signals a clear strategy. Trust McCarthy as the future, lean on Wentz for stability, and develop Brosmer as a long-term project. But with the season starting in less than 2 weeks, Is this trio ready to face a tough NFC North? The Bears, Lions, and Packers aren't messing around. How do you feel about this QB trio? Is it strong enough to compete, or are we one injury away from trouble? Drop your thoughts below. Back to the Thielen rumor. Why is this such a big deal? Thielen isn't just a receiver. He's a Minnesota icon. He went from an undrafted free agent out of Minnesota State to a two-time Pro Bowler with the Vikings. His chemistry with the fanbase and knowledge of the organization could be a game-changer for a young offense. Carolina's been hesitant to trade him, and his $6.25 million salary is a sticking point. But with the Vikings' cap space and extra picks, a deal feels possible. Imagine Thielen and Jefferson torching defenses together. Talk about a dream duo. Caitlin Thielen's cryptic big news post has us all on edge. What's your gut telling you? Is Thielen coming back? Or is this just wishful thinking? Share your predictions in the comments. Let's not forget the Eagles' side of this trade. Philly's in a tough spot with Tanner McKee's injury. Howell gives them a young, battle-tested backup who can step in if Jalen Hurts goes down. Hurts is coming off a Super Bowl MVP performance, so the Eagles are all in on defending their title. Adding Howell shows they're not taking any chances. For the Vikings, losing Howell stings a bit. He's only 24 and has starter potential. But his inconsistent preseason and turnover-heavy history made him expendable. The draft picks we got in return could be the key to unlocking a bigger move like Thielen or another veteran. Do you think the Eagles got the better end of this trade? Or did the Vikings come out on top? Let's debate it below. The timing of these moves is no accident. With the roster cut deadline on August 26, 2025, the Vikings are fine-tuning their squad. Trading Howell and Phillips, signing Wentz, and releasing Ripon shows Kevin O'Connell and GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah are laser-focused on building a playoff contender around McCarthy and Jefferson. The extra draft picks and cap space give Minnesota flexibility to address holes, especially at receiver. With Addison's suspension and Naylor's injury, the offense needs a spark. Thielen could be the answer, but the Vikings might also be eyeing other veterans on the market. What's the one position you think the Vikings need to upgrade most? Receiver, defense, or something else? Hit the comments with your take. Let's get hyped for what's next. The Vikings kick off the 2025 season against the Chicago Bears in Week 1, and all eyes will be on JJ McCarthy. With Wentz in his ear and Jefferson on the field, this offense could be electric. But the NFC North is a gauntlet, and every move matters. The Thielen rumor is the cherry on top. If Minnesota pulls off that trade, it's a statement. We're not just rebuilding, we're contending. The fanbase is starving for a deep playoff run, and these moves show the front office is listening. But can they deliver? What's your bold prediction for the Vikings season? Playoffs? Super Bowl? Let's hear your wildest dreams in the comments. All right, Vikings Nation, we've covered the quarterback shakeup, the Howell trade, and the Thielen buzz. It's been a wild week. The Minnesota Vikings are making moves to set up JJ McCarthy for success, and we're all here for it. From Wentz's experience to Thielen's potential homecoming, the 2025 season is shaping up to be one for the ages. What's got you most excited about these Vikings news? Are you all in on McCarthy, hyped for Wentz, or praying for Thielen's return? Drop your thoughts below, because we're building this Skull community together. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more Vikings updates, and share this video with your fellow fans. Let's keep the purple pride alive. Skull Vikings!